One card is
Okay, this is an OP6. I have the Tang with the Klingon flagship, Jean-Luc Picard on it, Incha, Strike Force, Concussive Charges, and Sinon. And with it is the Makta with Skill 9 Martok, Incha, and Alexander. My first opponent is going to be the Federation, and he's got the Enterprise with Picard and Scott and Sulu, and then the Defiant is his flagship.
So Tom
what does that flagship do?
Vicious team he had against V, and then last night we upgraded it.
If you, after your flagship moves, you may target one other friendly ship within range. Target ship immediately performs a second action on its action bar as a free action.
Sweetness. And what's that guy? What's your captain's name? I don't know him.
Ransom?
Oh, Rudolph Ransom. Okay, yes. Gives you the extra +2 defense. And he's got quantum torpedoes there, and secondary torpedoes, and Lujor, and Mr. Spock. So that's very well defended. Defiant, my goodness. You don't have the cloaking on it, though. Okay, still, that's pretty damn good. Yeah, so we'll see how this goes. We're playing from the DS9. DS9 model I'm using is just the Playmates model.
Have to have them out. The card?
I like it. Okay, turn 1, his ship's just moved forward a bit. Mine moved forward 4, we're getting close to the station. That's kind of how it's looking right now. Okay, really screwed up. I got 3 damage on me. The Federation ships are coming right at me. I tried to take out the station. I got 7 hits on it, but I needed 8. And I just completely screwed up. Completely screwed up. Tried to take it out, and now the Makta has 3 hits on it, and that's how it is. Okay, so the Shatang took out most of the shields off the. Oh no! All it did was did some damage to the Enterprise. And the Vorcha took out the DS9, and that's all that happened.
Technically, it's like a 3 out of there.
Okay, so that was a good round for the Klingons. The Vorcha turned and fired and destroyed the Enterprise. The Enterprise stripped it of shields, so the Makta can't cloak anymore, but the Makta was firing like 7 dice at him back. 5 for being the Vorcha, 1 for the range, and then 1 for the strike force. And then the, what do you call it, the Shatang fired the rear concussive charges, and just took 3 shields off the, what do you call it, the Defiant. So that's how it's looking right now. No.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay, so the final round, I had to use Incha to get the what do you call it, the Burrell. He did a 2 and then an Incha another 2, and I got a shot on and stripped the what was that, the Defiant of shields and brought him within an inch of his life. But then the Vorcha, the Makta, was right there and finished him off. He had 5 attack, and I added 1 from Strike Force, a 6 attack, and he had a re-roll with target lock, and it was unkind at that point. But yeah, so Klingons destroyed the Defiant, the Enterprise, and the station. I was hoping to take the station. It didn't work.
And they bumped.
Okay, so this is my second battle for Deep Space Nine. Once again, my Shatang and my Makta. This time we're up against the Enterprise with Picard on it. And he's got Engage, he's got Scotty, he's got Janice Rand. What's Janice Rand do?
Let's use Engage as a free action once a game.
Sweet. And then there's the Excelsior. Has Data and Rudolph Ransom and Spock and Miles O'Brien and Quantum Torpedoes and Positron Beam. That's what it is. And then he's got fighters. He's using a United Force. That's why he's got so many cards. That's impressive. And that's how it's looking so far. Anyway, let's play. Okay, so that was kind of weird.
Moments of indecision.
The ships moved forward. His Picard engaged fast ahead, and then my ships moved forward 3, and then they did Incha 2 over, and the Makta brought its shields down, and then the Shatang finished it off. It was that was brutal. That's turn 1. What's turn 2? Turn 2. Oh, it was turn 1. Brutal. That's brutal turn 1. Okay, not much happened there. The I was only able to destroy one level of the fighters, and a shield went down on the fighters. Other than that, that's all that happened. Not much. We fired at each other, didn't really hit. Not a very productive round. It was a good round for Federation. I just screwed up big time. I bumped, and he didn't get the cloak, and now he can't cloak. Both my ships have lost all their shields, and the Shatang is a stunned helmsman, so it's not going to get to fire this turn coming up, and it's just all bad from there. It's incredibly bad. But that's how it's looking right now.
Anything to change.
Okay, so
I do have a scan. So
the Makta was able to destroy the Excelsior, and
because there is a card that says you can't use it.
All that really happened. The Shatang fired, but it had a stunned helmsman, so all they did was take the thing off. Now he's got communications failure, so he fires at 0, whatever. And yeah, that's kind of where it's at right now.
But I was getting so close. And you discard cards until you have 1.
Okay, so I bumped the station, both my ships. I didn't know that you could bump the center, but apparently you could bump the center, so that was weird. And now that's...
How's he gonna get out
are we calling this game, or do we have one more round?
No, you guys got still more time.
One more round? Okay, so this is where we're at right now, and Klingons have the station. Okay, so that's game. The Shatang and the Makta survived, and the Klingons have the station, surprisingly. The fighters survived, they just flew off in disgust, I guess. But that was down to the wire. Neither of my ships had shields, we're all wounded, and but it ends with pretty good. Okay, so this is the final battle of OP6. For the DS9, got my 2 little ships here. He's got his Galaxy class and, oh sorry, that's the Enterprise and the Kornak. On the Kornak, he's got Corbinite Maneuver, he's got Gen Con at that, and Bohica. He's got like 3 Shrouds and Conditional Surrender. On the Enterprise, he's got James T. Kirk with Miles O'Brien, with a couple cheap deaths. I'm guessing.
I don't plan on dying anytime soon.
No, he doesn't plan on dying.
But you know what? Your brother brought it down.
That's where. So here's the initial movement. My guys are moving out to take the station. It worked for me last time. Didn't work for me the first game, but it worked for me last time. And he's going to try to intercept. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, all he managed to do was take off 2 Shrouds. He's got 3 Shrouds on that. What's that thing called? The Kornak?
Kornak.
He's got 3 Shrouds on that. All he was able to do was take off the 2 of the Shrouds. And then he fired back and did 1 damage to the Shatang. That's where it's at right now. So the Galaxy fired and took my Burrell to within 1 inch of death. So 1 more hit and the Burrell's destroyed. The Burrell fired on the station and hit it for 2 damage. Yeah, no, 3 damage. 2 hits and a crit. And that's all it is. The Makta fired and brought the what do you call it? The Galaxy shields down to 1, and that's where it's at. Okay, so the Klingons took control of the station. Then the Makta took the last shroud off of the, what do you call that thing? The Praxon? No, Kornak.
Yeah.
But the Kornak fired back and took off its shields and took 3 damage into it, so I've got 2 hull left. So not looking too good, but that's where we're at right now. Okay, so the Enterprise backed up into, look at that, all parked butt to butt. The Kornak went forward and the Vorcha just passed by it, and then the Enterprise backed up into it, and the Enterprise was the only thing got to fire and beat the Makta within 1 inch of his life. He's only got 1 hit point left.
All right.
And the
no, I couldn't. I had a token.
yeah, and then the Kornak destroyed the station with Sinon aboard. So that was that, and it's just how it's looking. He still has doesn't have any shrouds left, but he still has conditional surrender, and he still has Kirk with all those things. Okay, so we're all maneuvering pretty hard there. The no one else got fired except for the Shatang, and it took the rest of the shields off of the Enterprise and did 2 damage into it. So the Enterprise doesn't have any shields anymore, and that's good, and that's how it's looking right now. Okay, our ships are just turning and burning. The only firing was the Shatang at the Kornak, but he just did the last conditional surrender, so he can't do that anymore. Okay, so we're just turning and burning. The Enterprise did a hard 3. The Shatang took off the Kornak shields, and it's down to 1 hull, or no, 3 hull. It's 3 hull. Okay, so that was the last round. We each killed a ship. The Enterprise blew up the Makta, but then the Shatang blew up the Kornak. His Kornak was worth a lot more than my Makta, so I win, and I got the DS9 for as good as that is. But there we go. That was a very, very good game. That was right to the end.
They shot the